what point in this flow should I, as a creator, declare that I used AI, and to what extent should this affect either how much I earn or how pleased should my fan base be with the body of work?
So if someone builds a song maybe based on a previous project, could there be similarities? You know, we've seen graphics on social media and you're like, this looks like it was created in Meta AI or probably in this tool here and there.
If you can't afford a manager, if you can't afford a strategist, if you can't afford the label, you have all the knowledge, all the skill set available in your phone now.
When we sample, in a way, there is an assist over, you know, like another tool. And we see that sampling lately is even, I think, much more easier. What's up, people? Welcome to the NuveyLive podcast, and I am NuveySean, aka Ayela, aka NuveyLive for the people. The NuveyLive podcast is back. The show must go on. In the words of Dr. Dre, I used to be a starving artist, so I would never starve an artist. Later on in the show, we shall reference back that particular line from a song by Dr. Dre. Of the Straight Outta Compton soundtrack. But today, before we go any further, I just want to send my shout outs to Jay Watts, and I've been revisiting this album on my own. I don't know if Visual can get that. Yes, and one of the songs that reminded me of the good times was on my own, actually. The journey of NuveyLive. You know, at the moment, we are expanding. It's NuveyLive Music, Relma Media, and NuveyLive Media, the whole network. We have so much for you this March, and it will be coming. And one of the things that we are looking into will be shared on the website. That's NuveyLive.com. And if you still want to access all the content about, you know, NuveyLive music, hip-hop here and there, it's NuveyLive.org. It's been busy since the last episode. Man, that Navio episode,
That's one for the books.
had everyone, you know, saying, okay, Nuvey, how are you making these people get so comfortable? Like I said, NuveyLive for the people. And to start off, man, 2025 ended so well. So many W's here and there. And we got the award. I don't know how I forgot to get it here, but yeah, we have the award. We got the award
Second year.
second year running. So I mean, it's a blessing. Thank you everyone that voted. Hopefully, if the awards are back this year, we can still take them, and we call it a trilogy. And it's good for us to win it back to back. I think. NuveyLive Media joins the list of, I think, Calvin, Breezy Beats, those who have won this award 2 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken, but we shall check for the specifics. And NuveyLive for the people, we made 10 years last year, and Drake says, let's see who's here a decade from now. I guess we solidified that particular statement. Today, Zeology or Zia or Zio, I mean, he will restate that again, joins the pod. He will be a staple, I'm very certain. Should I say Happy New Year? I mean, it's...
Happy New Year. It's been since that one episode.
Yes, last year.
Last year. So I'm a few episodes late. But okay,
All right. Zio, do the introduction. the people might want to know, okay, who is this person? And also just remind the people what you do, who you are, and all, and then we can get this started.
So yeah, Zio is my name. I'm mostly a UG hip hop fan. Um, I'm a tech guy.
Tech guy.
Tech guy who is really big on UG hip hop for a while now, and every once in a while I pass by and say hi to Mr. Sean NuveyLive.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's see how today's conversation goes.
I like the fact that he said that he's a fan of UG hip hop, and I mean, we are fans of UG hip hop, and that's the one secret formula that I think keeps us going, is that you're a fan first, and then the passion is second, or the passion first, and then being a fan also follows, because most people involved in UG hip hop, all those who have been involved in UG hip hop for a long time, are actually fans. Shout outs to Cynthia. We need to get you on the pod. So many people looking at my phone right now. So many people that we have lined up that will be joining the show. And I guess I'm also intentionally dropping the word out there so that the followers can, push the artist and they join the pod. NuveyLive podcast is really about Ugandan hip hop, the music business, the creative business. We are also extending into the digital marketing, and we want to explore all those. Now, what are you listening to, Zio?
Right now,
Yes,
so
local and international.
International right now, so obviously the fall off.
J. Cole.
The fall off. I had a very bad Little Sims phase the last 2 years. I do
Right.
not know what that was about, but I had that on my Spotify Wrap 2 years in a row, and Rally Richie, not exactly hip hop. Well, hip hop really. He is a hip hop.
Yeah.
So you could say I'm main into British rap.
The
Drill.
the Enid farm. Central C? No?
Yeah, here and there, but mostly Little Sims, yeah, Rally Richie, and I guess that class. But that was up to late last year, and right now I'm a bit distracted, but it's been mostly the fall off and whatever else. Although locally, I've not. I mean, you're a huge hip hop fan. You're always going to be. So every once in a while, you'll pull back to the classics, Appuccino, or whatever the meat is serving, or whatever is training. You can't miss that. But something happened in my algorithm where I ended up on a whole other side of UG music. I think mostly what's on the radio. And it's what I've been listening to mostly.
Right.
Is it R&B?
R&B, like, are you into like Mike Mungu type, Hakine?
Not so much.
Cohen JC. Let me
Obviously,
see.
Barack. I mean,
But-
even if you tried,
There is no way we are going to dodge touching down in Morocco. Yes.
so
And then, sorry to cut you off. So many rappers actually jumped on the beat. Price Saber recently jumped on the beat. Yes, you.
and then a lot of what Cabo is doing.
Cabo, Baru, Cabo.
Yeah.
They actually just released an album
Yeah.
2 days ago.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Socials.
And then there is that it's ready hit. They'll go it's already. I see what they did. Yeah.
So that's what's been on my radar lately. And who else? Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, it's also just starting, so
Oh.
don't put me on the spot.
I mean, we were just, I think, getting closer to the end of the.
Sorry to.
Yeah.
So I've also been listening to a lot from the guys in Western UG.
Okay.
So Ambroy,
Ambroy.
lots of Truth.
Truth. Yes. He had the show last year.
He had a show, but also every once in a while he drops a track and all. And that class also. So that's what I've been randomly listening to whenever I get the chance to. Otherwise, I've been distracted till today. It stops now. Now I'm going to locate.
Right. On my radar, I've had Radar King definitely from, really revisiting his old projects here and there. I'm listening to a lot, just like you. I have also tapped a lot into Ambroy, the Conrad with an X. Basically, I've actually been locked in so much of UG music, not just hip hop. Right now, I think Mike Mungu is onto something. Salao is like been in a certain phase of my life, and Salao is one of those songs that I play or I played, just to keep my head intact, in like focused onto the mission. There is pretty so much I'm really listening to. I do have there's a kid I think Reda referred me to. I'm also listening to Akine, heavy on that.
Is that new music?
Not so new music. I think it's still the Mukene, but just revisiting the old projects. And a lot of Ilji. Just saw a post last night when he was bigging me up on staying the course all these years. I also bigged him up. It's really been a journey, and Ilji has been doing a lot. It's one of the stories, and we should get him on the pod one of these days. I've been tapping into not just his own music, but the music that he's been producing. It's so interesting that he's soundscaping UG music, not just hip hop, because the sound is so rich. Look at projects like On the Road. I think Habisha, Ilweza. I think I'm a huge UG fan. Yes, because he dropped a lot of music last year and the year before. And when you look at the projects, and we're not saying even singles, EPs, lots of EPs.
Puts out a
lot of music. And this one thing with the streaming era is that people actually need to dig deeper. If you're a fan of like the artists, like dig deep. And one of the things we're going to talk about today is how do the artists make it easy to be, supported? How can they leverage, especially the tech, the social media, the platforms? Ilji has had so much music. But one other person that has been like artist of the year every year for the past 3 years, if we go by the amount of content out, would you like to guess? Visual, would you like to guess? Price Teva. He's been marinating for Price is like the young OG. He's like the young OG. Like a big bro. Actually, he says this. He says his father figure Mweno game. He says it somewhere. He's like the poster child that Lumix, rest in peace, Lumix, because he came through his hands, and Price has been at this. My first interaction with Price Teva's music was, I think, 2013. And then 2014, he releases Baby Jaja, the Chiwede mixtape, when Price was big Price. But we will have him on the pod very soon, and he talks about that. Then the phase of Baby Jaja, then Side Zeno Price, We had African Stories Prize, Vivuga Prize, then recently just released an album called Marinette, and it's the project at the moment. So he's released a ton of music.
Guys have been busy.
And if we went by volumes of what is put out, then Price would be like Artist of the Year every year because it's featured even on different albums and he's kept it going, which is a good thing. Longevity is like his key, but consistency, if you stay consistent, I mean, it shows in how long you're going to be around. More music. I'm yet to listen to the Black Boy album, Lyrical G. Lyrical G has a project out as well. I don't know who else dropped. I think we've even moved on from what are we listening to. Now I'm thinking about what I plan to like listen to very soon. I don't know who else is dropping. Feedback 3, Ray Mac. It's also a project, some good smooth R&B there. One of the projects that I want to revisit. Speaking about new projects, yes, I think not Price, Flexi Paper and Navio have Amnesia. The song is called Amnesia. It's been going out there. Who else dropped? The Meats released an album last year. It has a video for Salao, one of those songs that I'm gravitating to. Right. Interestingly, there hasn't been like any AI version of, let's say, a UG hip hop song here and there. Though we've had, I think it was some years back where, you know, some guys played around with the radio, Moses Radio's, you know, vocals, and then they made like a remix, I think with a Zawi or something. Yeah. Or what do you think about that?
So the question of AI is it's as interesting as frustrating as.
Interesting and frustrating. Yeah. Like there are two sides to this.
Yeah. So
yes,
AI is a great tool. I think on this very point, I've said we can't ignore it, we can't escape it. But I've also got into a point where I'm wondering how much of it should we allow into our creative processes. So I figure that there are artists who have been able to put out AI assisted work. Then there are those who put out completely AI created work. And it's maybe a question of what do we want to be, what do we want to focus on? Is it the process? Is it the output? Is it? So I'm seeing, like globally, I've seen channels, like YouTube channels. Okay, right now you can't make money off AI work on YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
On other platforms you can. But I've seen guys who are committed to creating bodies of work for like dead artists. Like there's a channel that creates really good songs out of Tupac's voice and writing style and flow and cadence. And it's good work, it's really good work. But you keep in mind that there's a whole new creative process behind how is he prompting, how is he writing, how is he getting the kind of flow out of, you know, whatever he's inputting into the AI and then the production. So some of it comes off like whoever came up with this knows their fundamentals. This is the whole creator. We're looking at a whole new way of creating. I've seen Instagram channels that create short movies, 5-minute movies that are really good, otherworldly, well written. The script is dope, the soundscaping, the dialogue, and you want to, as you know, as a gatekeeper would, you want to take away something from this creator because they used AI, but you realize to be able to come up with what this person has come up with, you also really need to be really good.
There's like some conceptualizing involved.
Yeah. So without the AI, this person would have still been really good at, coming up with this sort of thing. The AI just provided the mechanism or the tools or the access that previously I wouldn't have. I needed maybe access to like really good CGI, you get, for me to come up with this thing that I have in my mind. But now that I have AI, I can come up with it. Then we have these other creators where it's like, hey man, I feel like with all this power in your hands, you could have done better. Yeah. So the question of AI frustrates me philosophically in that way. I still do not know where.
Ethically, philosophically.
Philosophically.
Okay.
Ethically, unless you're ripping off someone or using it for, I don't know, crooked
intent.
I don't know.
Right.
Maybe that's why ethically it would be.
So Timbaland of Icebox, he's invested so much in AI. I think he signed him being a producer is used to creating things.
I think it's a team thing. Hear me out. Locally, we have Timothy Kalejira.
Oh, okay.
We have Tim. So I think the AI excitement is a team thing.
I see. That went over my head. I'm like, wait a minute. How is Kalejira involved?
It's a team thing.
Yeah, it's really, they are cooking. They're really cooking with that.
It's nice to see be excited about it.
So Timbaland signs an AI artist and everyone is like, oh my God, this is utter BS. Like, why are you taking away opportunities, And one way I was like, I can understand why he would. Artists are also difficult to work with. Humans are difficult to work with. But in a way, maybe we should slow down. Maybe there should be like, I think we should call it like a system. Okay, what are the rules? What is the playing field? Not to gatekeep, but what is the category? Are these DSPs accepting like AI generated music? Are they revealing that, okay, this is all AI? This is AI assisted. Like, can people declare?
But you see,
but it's also in the sense of the technology. Sorry.
That also gets tricky because at what point should a creator declare? So here's the thing. Let's say, on a scale of coming up with a concept to recording and publishing a song.
Yeah.
At what point in this flow should I, as a creator, declare that I used AI, and to what extent should this affect either how much I earn or how pleased should my fan base be with the body of work? Then I guess it also takes us to the whole purpose of creating. So you realize someone could go to, for example, what's it called, text effects, this tool by Google for like coming up with like writing and lyric. Lupe Fiasco was showing a demo about it a few months ago, maybe a year. So if someone went to text effects and they said, I need 2 cool words that make sense if they rhymed or if they followed these 2 lines.
Right.
And then went back to their writing and they wrote their song. In a way, they've been assisted by AI. But then they wrote a complete body of work, recorded, published, then in a very traditional way. Should he declare that? Or if he went to...
That's actually a very good thought.
Yeah, because now there's someone else who will go, have a prompt in ChatGPT or whatever, then have that whole robotic verse. And like, this is really good. I could go record this. Then they might have even another AI come up with, I don't know, the beat.
With the beats, yeah.
Yeah, so
I think Notebook LLM can give you 30 seconds of a song.
So like, I get how someone really good with manipulating audio can get at 30 seconds, go sample it, flip it, chop it up, and build on top of it. But then, at what point will we say this is really good that you made this out of this small AI thing? And when do we take it away from them that they created it, or when do we say, okay?
That question has got me thinking. Like, now, actually, we might even be looking at this thing wrong.
You know what? Forget AI.
Create.
Yeah.
Just create.
The one way that I've tried to wrap my head around it is the concept of sampling as we had it before all this.
Right,
So
right.
back then, someone has picked up a wooden thing and laid the old drums use animal skin like we do here.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, so a workman somewhere has created a drum and sold them, and this producer has picked it, hit and created maybe snares and maybe someone has recorded it. So all that is from as scratch as possible.
Yeah.
So we see all the human input. So later someone makes a song out of it, and Kanye
Samples.
the
eighth way.
so samples it, flips it, and makes Ani Aliamani.
Right.
And it's the best thing you've had in like ever. You get? So at that point we think that's workmanship. That's really pure genius.
Yeah.
We do not say, oh, he stole, because you can see how much effort was put in this.
Ali and Yaman is a classic.
Classic. So in the same way that we think of sampling as an art form, how do we extend the same grace to AI, to what?
And that's exactly like the question I've been thinking about as you brought that perspective. Because when we sample, in a way, there is an assist over, like another tool. And we see that sampling lately is even, I think, much more easier because it can be just cut here, drag this and that. But back in the day, they used to use the drum machines and they would sample analog style.
Well, now software simulates.
And then the software lately just simulates. I remember when we were back in school with Ernest Otimi now plays for Swang's Avenues, Double Black, I think, the band. We used to use like the keyboard, the school keyboard, and sample and record music and beats on floppy disks. I'm bringing this for perspective. Now you realize
you drop a hit on 1 point in bass.
So on the floppy. So it's interesting, but deep down in my mind, I was thinking when Kendrick said a rapper with a ghostwriter, what dash happened, yeah? Now, the AI question is really double-edged.
It's confusing.
It's really confusing, and we're trying to, because we're still dealing with, for purists, like in hip-hop, we're still dealing with gatekeepers. We're still dealing with, a rapper should write their own song. That's a whole different question. But now let's look at it generally, the music, the music business. These tools, these tools are so essential. You might not be able to afford a whole agency.
Yeah.
You might not be able to afford the agency. So I'm moving away from just using this for music, because what I think is that AI can be a good tool as a reference in the creative process. We were having this conversation earlier on with visual in terms of graphic design. And NuveyLive Media, we get clients that want, like a poster, a banner, or an artist wants a cover art for their album, and they tell you their idea. Probably they would even run it through AI to give us a reference. And we probably pick that reference and try to create something more human, because the whole generative AI is what we are struggling with. And gatekeepers feel like, man, the surge, there's so much that can come out in one day.
AI slow.
And the challenge is that are we losing the human feel to it, the human experiences? And I think people still crave for something human.
Indeed.
They'll still crave for it.
So the tricky part is there's still a human in this process at the creating and also at the appreciating when all this is done. So you still can't take the human out. What still plays me is how much, should you call it attribution, how much should be attributed to the human to the extent that we appreciate this piece of art. When what his name would be, who's this great white bearded
Rick Rubin.
so
yes.
is Rick Rubin says, I can't play one instrument. I do not know even the right way to strike a drum set.
Yes.
But I've produced mega hits because he says I know a good product, so I'm able to work with whoever he works with, someone that is actually technical,
Yes.
and I guide them into the final product that you get to listen. I have produced. And in ways, you struggle with taking that away from him, because if he is the visionary behind this piece of work,
You're right.
you get. So if someone sat behind Claude, in these tools, obviously, you have to keep up as, or maybe a creator or a business, you have to keep up. It's dumb to not check them out. So if I am a struggling artist, it's Dr. Dre's starving artist, and I have a way to make music, okay, that's covered. I can afford studio time.
Right.
I can I can take myself to a show and perform if I'm given a slot. But maybe I can't afford to keep a graphics designer on retainer,
Right.
or hire a whole marketing team. Why shouldn't I go to cloud?
The way you're saying this, would like, okay.
I'm trying to but
You're thinking about someone on the
yeah, I
come
put
up.
myself.
Yeah.
Did you read Omic's Atlas?
The report. I read bits of it. I picked out the highlights. Yes.
So in part of what I picked, they said the average Ugandan music artist
Doesn't earn.
doesn't
And
earn.
it's just like 0%.
So they're trying to build like a persona based off
Yes.
the data, and they said this is a 26-year-old young guy who has been at it for about 6 years.
Right.
So let's go to the beginning of this career. So this 19-year-old has access to tools. Why shouldn't this kid go to cloud, prompt it? Because the things that the tool can do now, you're able to simulate a whole graphics designer
Yes.
and come up with basic flyers. It doesn't have to be premium NuveyLive quality,
Okay.
but I feel like it can be
Yeah.
a starting point. Either to like come up with ideas, pitch them to maybe someone who would like touch it up, and I feel like they should be allowed some grace
Yeah.
to use these tools to advance them, or depending on their level of skill set, why shouldn't they be able to come up with this script to automate their socials and pick leads and maybe generate electronic media kits, and or prompt it with, this is who I am, this is what I struggle with,
Right.
is give me a strategy on how I can, break up.
I think if we use it as a tool to support our creative, it makes more sense. It's like when we're making, let's say, a film, shooting music videos, you're going to get a filter, definitely. That's adding a layer without taking away maybe the human look. Basically, inspo, especially for the creative process, or even to help, just correct one thing or here and there. I brought up the question of maybe the creatives should reveal, but I'm very certain it's very hard for people to admit that, okay, I use this tool on this and this. Though, what the DSPs have to do is like have that research, have the tools where they are able to detect. I don't know if we're yet there, but that should be the direction instead of trying to, keep, because there are kids who are just trying to start out in the music business and they have no funds, as you say.
But
Yeah.
so this just
Yeah.
so the other question I would wonder with is the why, like okay, as someone who thinks highly of art, you see good work and like, this is really good.
Right.
As that person, deep in my heart, I would like to see art that is completely human made. Like, I still think we are such cool computers that I don't care how basic it looks, the thought process behind what you come up with is always going to be a legit. But now when I step outside of that, and I want why should we should care? I mean you can't lose to computers. We should.
We should.
Why should we be bothered? Because are we assuming that the market, obviously the quality will tell all these works apart. Like if it's AI slope, we'll listen to it a few seconds and move on and go back to the real, we can tell humans can't be fooled, the fan base can't be fooled, and the market always knows what they want. But in the event that maybe they didn't care, us as gatekeepers, why should
The sound of gatekeepers, but it's all good. Yeah.
But you get,
Yeah.
like, if we woke up today and, because like right now in what's happening in tech, code tools are creating more code than actual human developers.
That's interesting.
So when you say that creators should be able to like, what
You use the tool as an assist.
Yes.
In the
Well,
process.
they should be able to tell when they've used these tools and all that.
Yeah.
Something happened this week where Microsoft pushed code to its GitHub. So GitHub is like a
It's like a play store of code. Too far?
it's like a repository. So when
Yeah.
real things, you keep them on GitHub. And, yeah. So on their repo, they published code that was attributed in part to Claude. And so someone on Reddit was like, we are at it finally happening, because if a company like Microsoft that already has tools of its own is just casually pushing code that is attributed to Claude, that means we're getting to a point where this is as acceptable as a scenario like this. So it's possible that one day we could wake up and 90% of the songs on the radio are by AI artists. I think that AI is going to be like minority groups. You can fight them, but eventually
They'll still
they will
pop up.
win.
I don't know if, let me catch you a bit there. This is what I think, like the real, people still seek out the real, like I said earlier on, but this is what I'm seeing. I don't know if you agree with me on this. This is what I'm thinking. Prompting is also going to be a skill.
Jesus.
Okay, like prompting is going to be a skill that is sought out, whether in any industry, in terms of, okay, are you creative enough to make this this machine, this tool, to generate something that someone else might not be able to create.
I think that's what's still there.
And the market will also have packs, like how we used to have bundles of CDs, a CD like this one with a T-shirt. So someone is going to sell a pack of prompts, sample pack that will be like drum kits and all that. So there will be a sample pack to create like a certain sound. And this has reminded me of Lucas. What's his name? Crank Lucas. He has these very funny videos of recreating artists in studio. And one of them was Kendrick Lamar saying, "Now, Crank, I need you to add the sound of a spider and then like a giraffe." It was one of the ridiculous videos. So I think that will be the direction, because the possibilities are like endless. Let's push this to now. Okay, how can you monetize AI, not AI created content, but how can we monetize using tools that are out there, like tech tools? Is it a website, your social media? Could it be software? Do you think we will have a case in point where a Ugandan artist is probably doing a project on the level of like software as a service. Maybe let me slow down and let you digest that and share. Yeah.
So as you were speaking, I realized that we might have found an answer, the middle ground that we've been looking for.
Right.
So I think as a nice, of course, it's not like we are making the AI laws here,
Yeah.
but I think as a nice middle ground, if we face the fact that AI is here, it's helpful, it's really widely creative, and it's not going anywhere. And art would be nice if it was as human as possible. Maybe a perfect middle ground would be keep the bot out of the work, but use the bot to spread the work. In a scenario of a 26-year-old starving, struggling artist, so I feel like a good bargain is go do your music, go write with your head, come right from your heart,
Right.
go flow as yourself. Let's hear you as you. Go use human borrow.
Human Baru. You mean Baru? Baru the
yes,
producer.
yes.
Okay.
Go use human borrow and double. Get right.
Human Baru is interesting. Okay.
Share it with human as funds. But there are processes, there are tasks in your process that we see you could use the tools for things like your marketing strategy, because your branding, how you could share all this with your tool.
Right.
The kind of message you want to put out, how you want to be perceived, how do I brand myself. All this is information that this thing can teach you, custom made to you as the artist you want to put out there.
Yeah.
So that could be one way, because if you can't afford a manager, if you can't afford a strategist, if you can't afford a label, you have all the knowledge, all the skill set available in your phone now. What you could keep out of all this is your soul.
The soul. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Because if the AI is writing for you, that's might not, you could tweak it.
The experiences, the AI might not know your experience.
I think you could tweak it and prompt it to be as you, but the fans always know.
The soul should always be there, and that's the passion, really. That
and
you.
Of course, you are marketing yourself as an AI artist, which is completely a whole different other story.
This is for the award shows. They should be having a category, and the category for AI artists, the AI artist of the year.
Little bot.
But here's with AI comes also licensing, issues of copyright and licensing. Since these tools are not as old as any of us, maybe children born in, like, let's say this year, because most of the references are like up to 2023, 2024. I remember trying out the tool and it told me my references end at 2020, the training data that's there. So I'm thinking that there will be a point where maybe the tools are even updating in real time.
They have like Cloud right now is as dated as this afternoon, because they have access to the web. They have web search and all that. So.
Right. So sorry. So most of the people tend to if like the earlier conversation of the radio and Weasel, reference. I'm thinking. So if someone builds a song maybe based on a previous project, could there be similarities? We've seen graphics on social media and you're like, this looks like it was created in Meta AI or probably in this tool here and there. Do you think the creativity then dies down? I sort of waited to another question, but the issue of licensing, like copyright, because when you see so many things looking alike, won't there be fights of AI creators saying, but I did that design before you, before we jump into the so many copies? What do you think?
That's tricky because I think that copyright should extend only as far as if you're using people's likeliness,
Okay.
people's way, like the guy making Tupac tracks, or like in the radio scenario, or if you're saying make me a Blizzard type.
Shout out to
jump.
Blizzard.
You get me? So maybe there, but if you came up with I don't know, like an AI character that looks like what you came up with, and maybe someone else used the same tool, and maybe because of the prompt or maybe the technology, I would like to see how that plays out in the code. I can't say that I can tell how that would work out because who is did they steal your prompt? Did they?
I'm thinking.
It's about like an actual human's likeliness. That's definitely, it's almost creepy even. You should get in trouble for that.
But from the visual point of view,
Yeah.
like if even the sound, if let's say I went on streaming
I think
and then I found a song that yes has my name with my voice, but I did not authorize it or I have no idea about it.
I think that's also why DSPs are choosing not to pay for AI content.
Right.
And when these guys make that kind of content, they also know it's mostly for amusement, it's just the entertainment value. But they, or maybe to raise a following, and then when they're able to make actual organic content, they. But it would make sense why that kind of content is not paid for on like YouTube, as far as I know.
Right. So let's say I have a tool like Canva, I have a tool like Cloud. How do I use this tool? Not to, of course, let's say create new AI related content. I have my project. I have an album probably coming out. How are people missing out on, especially this, these the like the phones and the laptop? Because earlier on you said if someone is starting out, they are their own agency, their own editor, their own manager. How can they leverage, especially from the point of view of direct to consumer? Because the DSPs, it's one thing, it's a bit saturated. How do you distribute your product to be seen? In fact, from the point of view of visibility, how do you extend your reach using these different tools? And some tools maybe you think most people are sleeping on.
So the way I think of these tools is if I'm an agency, let's start from this analogy. So I'm an agency. Previously, maybe I wasn't cashed up enough to hire like an in-house designer or an in-house strategist or whatever.
Yeah.
So what you have in your pocket for $20 is maybe the entire wisdom of the whole world in whatever discipline or industry you're in. So one way you could like utilize these tools is the research, the amount of research you could milk out of them. So I'll give you examples on scenarios. I'll give you a tool like Notebook LM. So by Google. So you are able to learn very complex things, a semester's worth of knowledge over a weekend. So people are finding all clever ways of doing this. So you dump all source materials into this tool, and then it will run through it. And depending on what you want for it to teach you, what method you want it to teach you, it could, for example, come up with a podcast like this.
Right.
So these are two people discussing the source material you've fed it with. So they will break down, for example, how do I come up with a strategy to be as visible as Joshua Baraka? So you give it your scenario. I'm here. I'm a chap trying to rap or trying to drop an album, and these are my limitations in terms of resources or access to all these industry players that would get me there. And then it will know your scenario. Based in Kampala, you're dealing with this and that. Right. And then it will give you all the game. So now then it would be up to you to see, based on what it has told me, what's the easiest approach for me going forward. That can be one. The research and the amount of advisory you would get for free, that the gatekeepers are too busy or too gatekeepy about, that would be one way, because it will not do the groundwork for you.
Yeah.
It might show you where you can start from. I don't know if that.
Yeah, it reminds me of Naxa. Naxa had a video that partly was, I think he used AI, like to either to edit or in the whole process of shooting. And he declared, by the way, he declared and said, like, they partly used AI, and it helped them. You know how we keep saying AI in a way, it makes people shun the creative process.
I think we should embrace it more in a positive way.
Yeah, because when I looked at the video, still stayed humanly possible. I think the footage was actually shot like
Snoop also did.
who?
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
He did one recently as well.
Oh, right. So I think, speaking about the strategy, Notebook LLM is so rich, really, really so rich. I've just recently started, working with, especially now. From my point of view, let's say you're an artist and you're trying to pitch to a company, and you're like, it'll be presentation. Like, how do I have my proposal, such things? I think such tools, the music industry is like 10% talent, and the other percentage, everything else you do to business and to navigate. So I'm thinking you can do a pitch deck with your tool right there, a strategy for an album, I believe so. Even is inspo for like cover art.
I've seen a writer, a local writer, who's writing, I think it's romance, and they don't use the tool in the story. So they just write. They write. The story is originally from their head. They write, and they only go to the tool for criticism and like validation. Like, so, what do you think if you were insert target audience? What would you feel about where we are in the story? What would you feel about the characters and all that? And then the tool, because it's been, up to date since the writer started. I'm like, oh, I like what you're doing, but I do not like. Sometimes it will hold back, sometimes it will encourage them. But they try to make sure that their input stops at the criticism. And so this is like compared to if you had access to a professor, you're writing a book, but you have access to a professor, you could just walk into their office and like, hey, this is where I've reached now, what do you think? But the professor is only here for guidance in ways that you as maybe a young writer could not have come up with. And I thought that was a cool.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to.
So I guess also in the sense of our young artists, they could go to you like, so this is the concept of the album, this is how far I've come. What do you think? How would this resonate with my fan base? Of course, fan base you already described, so it knows who you're talking to. I feel like also that could fly.
Yeah, right. Off say to not the Migos. I said offset and I thought of the Migos right away. So off like camera, we hinted on software as a service. Where is the playing field for the creatives, people in the music business? We see companies like Play It Loud buying content here and there. I think they've signed the Miss, Navio. I think Bad Black was supposed to have. Did her thing happen? I think not Caroline Marker. There is this Evelyn something. She has like No Break something show on Play It Loud. So we are seeing one of the turnovers or the crossovers for, let's say, artists is to have a podcast, Joe Budden style, the myth style. Is shooting content one of these days. The crossover is like you get on a TV show or a radio show, or you have like your own podcast, but no one locally here, no one is talking about how do we cross over with the creative element, and then we build tools like software. I know you said out of this that software won't even be created as such, but how can we be positioned? I don't know if I've complicated the question. How do we position the creatives with the software?
Let's catch to that.
So you've seen not in the past few times here and there, an artist has chosen to have their own distribution channels.
Right.
They're like, I won't take the Spotify route, or
Like GNL's 1 billion shillings.
hey man, I won't follow you down there. But
No,
yeah.
he said he made like a billion shillings on his website. But
yeah, sure, he did. So it's scenario like that, or when Kanye decided to, was it Kanye and Donna, or what was it?
Kanye on Donda, I think, when he did the STEM play or something.
Yeah. So I get that there's a lot of could you say mistrust? I've seen artists complain about the DSPs, and like it might make us more money and get us more visibility if I had my own channel that I completely control and get my own revenue in a way that I would feel like I didn't get played. So we are at a point in time where the technology is there for any artist to have a presence of their own, or a group of artists, or labels. Labels could decide to like distribute a project completely within platforms that they've built themselves. Or you could build around the problems that we face. If you read the report, I know I keep referring to the report, but
the AUMEX.
Yeah.
Okay.
So part of it does not seem like artists do not know how to present themselves and get the visibility. And also it doesn't seem like the market isn't ready, because they say there's 17 million Ugandans online, and out of these 17 million, about 56 have good weekly access or monthly access to the internet, and they spend considerably on data and all that. So the market is there. It doesn't seem like if an artist chose to have their own platforms, they would struggle with that. It might take us back to what strategy they're using or how they get visible, but if they chose to, the tools and the technologies are there right now, better than now, more than ever before. Or I think if I lost my train of thought, I was trying to say that now the report presents like really good problems to innovate around. So if you don't trust the DSPs, or if you don't feel like you can play in that crowd and come on top, you can build around a problem like that. Or if you don't trust, for example, the foundation, it's probably like you guys come together, then you might make most economic sense out of a problem like copyright and all that. You have the technology to build around that problem. Could use blockchain so that you will be able to track your plays and whatever, or smart contracts. The technology.
The splits, splits issues. People work on projects and like, but guy, you didn't send the money from the streams. So I think that's what you're saying about smart contracts and tracking plays.
All the problems that artists think they have now can be innovated around, either by themselves or as a group, or talking to whichever tech guys are in your circles, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know if that answers your question.
Right.
It still falls into the idea that right now,
Do you think we are light years far away from NFTs? And
so I used to dump on NFTs a lot, but later I realized that I was being a little too childish about how much I dumped on it, because the idea they came with was dumb. Cartoons, and I feel like if we had used all that wisdom for something as noble as music and royalties and all these things, that would have been a very good application of NFTs.
right. Right now, most people have like okay, not most people, that was really off. A number of people have smart TVs, right? Podcasts have been a go-to, so you can sit home and watch like the Soyuji podcast. You can sit home and watch the NuveyLive podcast or any other culture podcast at home, smart TVs. Then there is the element of like, let's say, gaming, PlayStations and all. In the US, I think it was, I know most people don't like him, Travis Scott. When he did like a show on Fortnite, as we wrap up, he did a show, I think, on Fortnite. Do you think this is close to us here in Uganda? Is it so close? I believe people like Elijah Chitaka, not the artist, but the tech guy, of Feza, probably would be one of the guys. Where do you see a future for a viable, let's say, virtual concert like of that nature, of that stature?
Well, if the godfather of the metaverse hadn't gotten distracted with AI and I don't know, moved up or given up on it, maybe we'd know where we would be. But I was trying to say, if we got our minds out of the idea that if I am a singer or a rapper or a producer, I am making content for the radio or for streaming. There's so many other channels you can create for. Earlier we joked about the old school idea of sample packs and all that.
Yeah.
If you're a producer right now, you should be able to create sample packs and sell them on your own site
Yes.
locally.
Yeah.
If you saw like things Cabo did with the project, going around the country collecting
sounds,
scales,
yes.
that's a sample pack right there that he could sell, or any other person who came up with an idea like that. Or you could make music for soundtracks like documentaries. Or you could say me.
Shout outs to APAS, he was already ahead of the curve.
There's so many ways that whatever you're creating for can end up using the platforms that we have. People are creating games locally now. You could just make game music.
I think the creative who's so heavily involved in having games and then having their songs in like games is Kea Nemesis. If I'm not mistaken. Sorry I cut you short, but I just wanted to add perspective to that.
Or you could create soundtracks for podcasts like this.
Right. We need a new soundtrack. Anyone hoping to, yeah.
The technology for anyone, no matter what you're doing, for you to use that and be visible in all the ways is there. It's a very bad time for artists to have excuses. I get the market is tough, the audience is distracted and all that, but much more than before you can.
All right. As we conclude, just one key that maybe I think I can give like the people is we don't actually have culture comic books or even digital comic books. Imagine, from the strategy point of view, let's say you've rolled out an album like the Ugandan. I would imagine the myth maybe venturing in that. Anyway, all this comes with people's interest, but imagine you extend your album experience telling this story in a comic, in an animation. We were speaking of AI. You can generate these things with different tools, but that's a story. That's something we are still trying to wrap our heads around. You spoke of channels. I believe the channels are endless to a point of even film.
Yeah.
Before we got on set, we were joking about visualizers and actual music videos. Videographers lately are wondering what they should be telling their clients. Do you want me to follow you around as a visualizer or shoot an actual music video?
Short movie or whatever.
Yeah, but I believe it's a good time right now to be a creative.
The things you could do right now are insane.
What's so bad about it is that the market is so saturated, over 100,000 plus when it comes to uploading music, but it's a good time because the resources are so many.
The report says we spend this is 5 hours, 3 hours, but a considerable part of our day is spent consuming local music.
Local music.
Yeah, so there's screen time, but a good 5, I don't know what miscode, but it was either 3 hours or 5 hours, but a good part of that time is spent consuming local content. Could be on TikTok.
The report we are talking about is the AUMEX report, just for perspective.
Yeah. So you could get a big chunk of that attention in creative ways. You just need to see where the competition is less and take a pie.
All right. The AI, the tech conversation will not end here. We shall definitely have more of these conversations, and probably Zio having his own segment, really exploring, the tech, because he's the tech guy, he's the tech bro. Hip hop, depending on how you say it, is always been synonymous with technology. This whole sampling, scratching, the DJ, all comes with technology, and it's really the hip in it. You have to be on your ground. You have to be hip to what's happening there. We will not go further than this. Just some news, not tech news. I think Talent Africa just expanded in Nairobi. Nairobi, like their other division. I think they're trying to have East Africa on lock.
Making use of that Africa.
Yeah, the Africa in the name. So shout outs to Ali Bai. That's some great strides. We know that Talent Africa has really contributed so much to UG hip hop and the industry at large, especially in trying to make things more organized and all that. And that's what we really strive for. Any last words, Zio, before we close this up?
Last words, I'll just say, keep your soul, man. Don't give it up to the bots. Need to make slaves out of the bots, though. They can do the work,
right,
but let's keep the soul in the art.
Right. Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Right. At Zeology on...
Zeology everywhere.
All right. Yeah. And at NuveyLive or at Nuvation, everything is on NuveyLive.com, and kindly follow, subscribe, go on our different channels, TikTok. I think we're trying to also revamp our Snapchat. We need to reach out to the Gen Zs. Follow on the different platforms. NuveyLive is for the people. We cannot go beyond this. This show is powered by Zara Funny Homes. See you on the next one. Peace.